Hey everybody, Dugras here with Dugras Reports. I got a short addendum here to my unpopular opinions video, my pet peeves from the credit card community video. I'd like to add a pet peeve, and that is the topic of positioning flights. And if you're not familiar with what that means, I'll try my best to explain it here. So a lot of award flights are only out of major hubs in the United States. Like if you want to fly to Europe or Australia or Japan, there's not a direct flight from Columbus, Ohio to Tokyo, Japan. So you might have to fly from Columbus, Ohio to San Francisco to Tokyo or something like that. So in the credit card community, it's often said, oh, we'll just take a repositioning flight. I feel like that's often said as if it's no big deal. Now, if I'm flying all by myself and I have the time, I'm okay with a repositioning flight. I've never actually done it, but I'm okay with it. But with a family or a spouse that doesn't like that kind of thing, that just makes the trip more miserable. My wife does not like to change locations frequently when we're on vacation. Her ideal vacation would be you get to your destination the first night, you check into the hotel, cabin, lodge, vacasa, whatever, and you're just there the entire week. You don't change hotels because you've got better value somewhere else. So she would not like the idea of flying from my home airport, which is Des Moines, Iowa, to Atlanta, Georgia on a Friday night, spend the night, wake up the next day, and then get on an international flight at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to fly to somewhere in Europe. So I guess it's just a little bit of a pet peeve that it's always presented like a repositioning flight is no big deal. First of all, it's going to cost you either money or miles. So I don't like it when people talk about, travel is free, but then you pay $200 on a repositioning flight per person. Secondly, even if you have the miles, and I probably do, I just don't want to reposition. It's not fun. Getting into a motel at 9 p.m. and waking up the next day to check out by 11 isn't fun. It's not that enjoyable. Now, there's ways you can get around that with hotel status, late checkout, blah, 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 blah. That opens a whole nother can of worms. But I guess that's one of my unpopular opinions, is repositioning flights are inconvenient and unpleasant. Plus, if you want to check bags, then you have to uncheck them, check them back in the next day. You're going to have to go through security a second time. Just more to mess with. So I decided to record an addendum to my addendum. Just to clarify, I'm not saying I would never ever do a repositioning flight. If the value was right and the trip was good enough, I'd be willing to put up with it, and I could convince my family to put up with it. It's just annoying, and we don't want to. And the pet peeve is when, especially as someone who lives in a small market airport, you hear a popular blogger say something like, oh, just take a repositioning flight from Des Moines to Boston so that you can get that really great value to fly to Ireland or wherever. Just kind of rubs me the wrong way that they act like it's not a big deal at all. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with the other guys? Put a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on the matter. I'd be glad to hear it. Please subscribe to the channel and click the thumbs up button. And as always, may your spending be frugal and may your points be plenteous.